Okay?
Yeah.
Well, we sort of have a little problem that we've got to deal with. Chane Behanan has the flu, and he has a fever, so we're not sure what we're going to do. We just found out a short while ago that we have this problem. So what we'll do is give him whatever they give him, Tamiflu, and we'll put a surgical mask on him, let him sit in the back of the plane, take him with us, see how he feels tomorrow, and if he can give a Jordan-like performance like Michael did in the Garden, it would really help. We'll see what happens. Outside of that, everything's normal.
He just gets sick in the last day?
Yeah, he just woke up with aches and the flu.
Did Kevin Ware, is that what he had?
No, he had stomach problems.
Coach, you talked about maybe wanting to play an extra game in the Big East tournament so you can kind of get Black Chane Ware up to par. How do you kind of balance that in the middle of games, especially that all these games matter so much in conference play, to kind of try and work them and get them more experience?
Well, my point being, somebody I think asked a question about how important it is to get that double bye, and I was saying it's really not that important. If I had my choice between 4th and 5th place, I may want to take 5th place to get the extra game, just to get Wayne some more work. And so that was my point. Right now, we're just looking at, we're all playing, well, some people are playing to advance in the seating department, some people are playing to get better, obviously improve, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. We're playing for all the above, sort of. We want to get better, we want to improve, we want to work other guys in, we want to play for a higher seed, all those things.
If Behanan can't play, what do you think you'll go with?
I'm not sure, Rick, I'm going to see practice it, but may go with Kyle at the 4 and Wayne at the 3. Could get Angel ready a little bit and play, could go with Swap. I'd rather not start Swap because I know he can get the job done, so I'd rather not risk him early foul trouble. I probably would go small and use Swap during the game to make sure I have him later in the game. Go small with Wayne and Kyle. Look at that. Look at maybe using Angel.
With the way DePaul plays, I mean, if you do go small, especially the way the first game went, I mean, that doesn't hurt you. I mean, it could actually help you.
Well, it hurts us on the backboard a little bit because Shane's a very good rebounder, and they've got a 6'8" guy at the power forward who's the second leading scorer in the Big East in terms of the backboard. And so it does hurt us a little bit, but it may be a secret weapon. It may go with it, and it may be great. It's certainly, every day Wayne gets a little bit better. He's not near where we hope to get him, but this is the game we shot for to try and get him ready to go because it gives us 2 weeks before the Big East tournament. And we think by the Big East tournament, the NCAA, he'll be near 100%. At least we hope so.
So primarily with Wayne, just the defensive schemes that
he didn't, in the last Syracuse game, he didn't have a clue to what we were doing. Sometimes we go through with the cutters, sometimes we play strictly man, sometimes we play strictly zone, and it's foreign to him, all the keys that we have. And it's just a matter of learning it. And then we were trying to play him at 2 positions, at 2 and 3. And it's difficult on him. Then he's got to learn all the offensive sets. And then he has to get in shape, because he hasn't played in a long time.
Looking back at that Syracuse footage and the defensive struggle that it was, what did you take from rewatching that game and looking over it?
Well, it's exactly what we wanted at a game in terms of it being a difficult half-court game. We did not want to get in a transition game with Syracuse because then their strengths are exposed more. We felt we played a perfect game in terms of the strategy of what we wanted to get out of it, except we didn't make free throws. And it's okay not to make free throws sometimes in a basketball game, but not when your strategy is to play a half-court game and a low-scoring game. You have to make it because free throws are so highlighted when you're playing a 50-point game. So that was a weakness, and certainly not getting a good shot at the end was a weakness.
Rick, we know DePaul generally doesn't draw all that well up there, and we've heard there's maybe a big contingent going up. How big an advantage could that be?
Well, we had it last time we played. You know, the churches in town get together for one game a year, and it's as good a support as you could ever get. I mean, we will have about 4,000 church people coming down from Louisville and going to Chicago and having a good time on their own. It's their annual trip. And for us, it's a big lift. And if Shane's not playing, we're going to need lifts in a lot of areas. And so, you know, anytime you have 3,000 to 4,000 fans, you know, who come and support you once a year and on the road, it's a tremendous, tremendous lift for us.
You played DePaul several weeks ago. Now they've played quite a few games since then. How have they changed or improved since then?
You know, DePaul is the type of team that can beat anybody on any given night because they shoot so many threes, and they made 10 against us. And about 4 were difficult ones that went in. They can beat you so many different areas, and they full court press you for most of the game using 2 different presses. And if you don't handle the ball well, it can be a difficult night. So they're up on a lot of people, and you've got to play a 40-minute game against them, and you have to make shots. You have to attack them inside too. We got to have we hope that Chane will play because we're going to try to attack him inside.
Has Gorky given you any indication that he understands better what you hope for him in the middle of that kind of zone? Did he learn a lesson maybe from Syracuse?
I just thought Gorky lost his confidence because he missed. He was wide open. They left him wide open. He didn't make the shots, and he lost his confidence. Sometimes, believe it or not, you like a guy near you when you shoot, and he was wide open, and it wasn't his fault. The strategy in that game was to create movement and then to drive the seams and find people. And Peyton was brilliant in the first 7 minutes of the game of doing that. And then we had some other guys that weren't able to do it. And we'll be better second time around in attacking it.
With all the injuries throughout the year, I felt like it kind of was like, what is the identity of this team? Because no one knew who was going to be on the court. Through all of that, second in the nation in field goal percentage defense, how much of this team's identity is defense?
Well, the speech I gave yesterday to the team, I said, look, what a lot of people don't realize about you guys, and I went around the room and I said, Tim Henderson, what year are you in? Sophomore. Bullitt, sophomore. Angel, freshman. Russ, sophomore. Gorky, sophomore. Shane, freshman. Wayne, freshman. Angel, freshman. I went around the room and you don't realize, as you're going around, you got 8 guys in their freshman, sophomore season. So I said, now I want you to act differently than your age. I said, I want you guys to start thinking this way. I want you to start thinking that you're a 10-year veteran in the NBA, and now you can have 2 wishes. What would they be? And they said, well, how much success have we had? One question. I said, you've never won a ring. Well, one guy said, we'd like to get traded to a veteran team that has a chance to win a ring. I said, very, very, very smart. That's a good one. What else? You know, I'd like to get traded to a team, obviously, that has 3 or 4 great basketball players. I said, smart. And we said, okay, so now we have it. So everybody's chasing a ring. Everybody's chasing that. You want to be on a veteran team. Well, you have to. You're not a veteran team. You have some veteran presence on your team. So now you all have to start acting like you're 10-year veterans, and now you've been traded to a team where you have a chance to win a ring. All right, now what can you do to win a ring? What has to come about? You're 10-year vets now. And they all agreed that they've got to be great on defense all the time. And I said, okay, that's been our staple all year, that we try to confuse people, we try to communicate and change our defenses. Okay, now we have to be tougher. And we haven't been at times because we give up too many offensive rebounds. And I said, so we've got to correct that. And I said, we've got to pick up our level right now defensively for the last 5 games of the season. And we talked about it, and I gave him some illustrations of how great defenses win ball games. I said, now, in every NCAA tournament, if you're going to make a run, there's the one game where your offense is not clicking, like the Syracuse game, for both teams. And you've got to overcome it with defense. And so you have to understand that. And they all did. And we went out and we worked very hard and had a great practice. And that's what we're trying to illustrate to our guys. There's 5 games left in the season right now. Go into the Big East tournament playing your best ball, and especially at the defensive end. I said because we're young, you know, sometimes people talk about all the young basketball teams, they don't realize how young we are, you know, because we have Peyton, Kyle, and Chris. But the rest of the guys are performing. Like Gorky's a young basketball player. He's even younger than his class because he hasn't played basketball all that long. And certainly Chane is very young fundamentally. Now Wayne is a different story. Wayne is not young fundamentally. Wayne really, he understands that game. He has a lot of Luke Hancock in him. He knows how to play the game of basketball.